What up, guys? It's Grant's Comics here. Today we are gonna do top nine, um, top nine beginner tips for collecting comics on a budget. That was a bad intro, but you know what I mean. So number 10 is find a theme and follow it. So a lot of these rules for beginners for having a budget for comic collecting is what I did when I first started going back into collecting comics. So what I mean by find a theme and follow it, like for me, obviously I'm a big Spider-Man fan, as you can tell. So I would always collect Spider-Man stuff, Spider-Man comics, stuff like that, and keep following that theme until you're used to collecting comics, and on along the way, as the years pass, you can just collect more stuff. And that's what I did. I started with Spider-Man, and then I started collecting other stuff, other superheroes like Batman, Superman. Well, I don't have any Batman, but I like Superman, Avengers, Iron Fist, all that stuff. But yeah, find a theme and follow it. That's number 10. Number 9 is find a home base shop. Now, for me, and I will put a link below for the Facebook for Enjoy Comics. So, because that's my home base comic shop, and there's another comic shop. It's hard to pronounce, but I'm not gonna pronounce that one. But yeah, find a home base comic shop. And back in the early days, comics were in like convenience stores and stuff like that. And if you're lucky, Walmart might have a exclusive comic, to Walmart, stuff like that. So other than that, since comics are not sold in convenience stores anymore, and you gotta go to a comic shop and just get a comic, you know. Number 8 is join a community. So join like a Facebook community, or like I said, if you make friends with people in in your local comic shop, or even if you're friends with the owners or the workers of the comic store, it makes it almost so much easier. And I rarely go to my local comic store. I wish I have, but so just join a community. It can be Facebook community, conventions. If we have a local convention like over here where I am, it's called Hawaii Con, and basically it's a Hawaii version of a Comic Con, but stuff like that. Or if your local, your state has a local festival that has to do with collectibles or comics, you can go there, make new friends. That's a good way to start getting to comics. You can ask them questions. You can say, is this comic a key? Is this comic a key? How much does this comic work? Stuff like that. So join a community. Number 7 is start a pull list. So pull list is basically like, so comics come every month. A pull list, make your list that you want to have in your collection. Make sure your local comic book shop has it. Tell them to hold it for you. Some comic book stores, like my local comic book store, you can only have the comic book be held for a certain amount of days. So make sure you go, if your comic book store does that kind of thing, make sure you go before the deadline to get that comic is due, because if you don't, then if someone else is going to want your comic and buy it, and it's going to be too late. But number 6, start being organized. So I don't know if you've seen my comic book, or not my comic book, my store, my studio tour, which is all this. You know that I have comics on the wall and stuff like that, but at some point I'm gonna have to get like a box so I can like store them and stuff like that, and keep them in the future for when I have kids. But if I have my own family and stuff like that, if my kids want comics, I can save those comics for them and stuff like that. And also to keep organized too. just so your comic book spot, your man cave, whatever it is, doesn't get messy and doesn't get ruined and stuff like that. So get a box, put them in the box. Like I said, eventually I'm gonna have to do that, but for now I have room to put comics on the wall. I'm gonna have this wall too eventually have comics. I gotta figure it out along the way. But anyways, number 5 is pace yourselves. Yeah, just pace yourself with just in general like deals and the comic book community, and just I don't know how to explain it too much. Sorry, that was a car. Number 4, catch up on the content. So if you if you're like a straight up comic book collector where you collect anything, then you just collect comics just to collect comics. Those people, they have to keep up with what's new. Like this comic is gonna be out in a week, or this comic can come out tomorrow. You're gonna have to, keep up. You can't be like, oh well, I can't do it on this day, or I can't do it today. I can come back in a week. No. And this is another thing I need to work on, because I'm a big Spider-Man fan, and every time Marvel puts out a Spider-Man comic, the art they make it. First of all, they make the art look dope, and that's what throws me off. Like, oh my god, the artwork is so rad. I need to get it ASAP. But then again, with this whole pandemic going on, I can't go out as much as I would. But other than that, yeah, just keep up with the contact you're in. Make sure you get updates from when new comics are coming out and stuff like that. So you're just updated. Get updated. Number 3 is make a list of key books. Now, everybody, obviously, if you're a big comic book fan, you have keys you want to get or stuff like that. Some people do have their keys, and some people have half their keys but still want some more keys that's on their list. For me, I don't have none of my keys in my collection. So before I get to it, after I finish this list, I'll tell you my key comics after I finish this list. But yeah, make a list of key comics that you want. It can be short, it can be long, it can be just right, no matter what. It's always good to keep a list of key comic books, rather if it's for your own personal collection or rather it's for selling in the future. Then it's always good to make a key list. I think for making your own key list is just for yourself in your collection, that what you want in your collection. I think that's what it is. Number 2 is find a local place or spot deal. So places like like antique shops, garage sales, market places, or whatever, places that are not in the comic shops is best. For one thing, and it's easy to find keys over there, because not to be mean to people who are antique shops or rummage sale, garage sales, but a lot of these people who have these comics don't know if they have keys in their collection, and they sell it for cheap, and you gotta reel it in, throw it, reel it when you can, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Versus a comic book shop, they know what they're dealing with. And I'm not saying that comic book shops are bad and hard to get, but I rather have best of both worlds. I rather have that's why I like to go to an antique shop and to go on my local comic book shop, because variety is everywhere to me. I love comics no matter where I go, and plus the comic books shop is more cleaner versus an antique shop, because I don't really like the smell of antique shops. It's really nasty, and the comics are all like nasty and stuff, so I have to clean it afterwards. Like the Marvel Team Up number 2, when I first got it at the antique shop, I didn't like the smell. I had to clean it right away, and I hate when I have to do that. Versus a comic book shop, they take good care of the comics, so I love that. So, but yeah, just find a local place to spot deals. That does not have to be a comic book shop. It can be like garage sales, rummage sale, antique shops, collectible shops. I don't know if that's the same thing as an antique shop, but stuff like that. Stuff that is out of the comic book shop. And just make a deal. So, before I end this video, as I promised, I'm gonna tell you my key comics. Like I said, I don't have any of my keys. So, a few of them, most of them is Spider-Man keys, but I have a few that's not Spider-Man keys. Like, the ones that are not Spider-Man keys is the first appearance of Gambit, first Blade, which is Tomb of Dracula number 10, I believe. I think first Gambit is 255 or 155. If you guys know what issue is first appearance of Gambit, comment down below. And I think that's it for non-Spider-Man. Yeah. But for Spider-Man keys, my first one is Final Fantasy 115, which is the very first appearance of Spider-Man. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get that, but I would love to get that. I'll probably want to get that at an antique shop. Like I said, I'm not trying to be mean to the antique shop people, but they don't know what is key and what is not. So if I do find an Amazing Fantasy 15 at an antique shop, I'm gonna, and if it's for a cheap price, then I will get it. I'll get like that. But yeah, Amazing Fantasy 15 is one of my keys. First appearance of Spider-Man, and my other key, which I always wanted. That's like, this key is my most top key. Like, I want this so bad. Is Amazing Spider-Man 281. Yeah, I'm just gonna go 281. If I may be wrong, again, comment down below which is it, 281, or yeah, it's the first appearance of Carnage. Tell me, comment down below what issue is the first appearance of Carnage. I know it has to deal with 3 in the beginning, and at the end it's 1, but I don't know if it's 361 or 381. So comment down below what is the number for first appearance of Carnage. But yeah, first appearance of Carnage is my top want on my grail. I really want that comic. I know it's gonna sound kind of dark, but I want to be buried with that comic. That's how bad I want it. So anyways, that's my keys that I want. Also, if you want, comment down below what is your key books that you want in your collection that you don't have, and what keys that you have that you want. Comment down below what keys you want but don't have, and comment down below what keys you have that you wanted but you have it now, is what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. But anyways, that's it for this video. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. See you next time.